Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back for another BoshNRoll video. Today at the request of Patreon subscriber Dom, I am playing Legacy, and this is 5-color Yorion Beanstalk. This is, of course, the control soup deck built around Up the Beanstalk, a card that has shaken up all of the Eternal formats. Funny story, at MagicCon Las Vegas, I was talking to a friend of mine who works in Wizards play design, and he said Up the Beanstalk was just meant to be a signpost uncommon for limited, but here we are, shaking up every single format that it's legal in. I'm a big fan of this card, and when it was first printed, I shoved it into a Yorion Green Sun Zenith list, and at the end of that league, I was like, basically my conclusion was, this card's awesome, but I don't think you want to shove it into a Zenith list. I think you want to just build a mostly normal control deck, and this is the package, not Zenith. And look, here we are. I don't take credit for this list. This is from McWinsauce, who did well in a recent challenge with this 95 cards. McWinsauce is a name that I trust when I'm scrolling through deck lists to have a well-conceived list of blue soup nonsense. He is about that life, and I respect it. And this is the classic just don't die long enough and you'll win somehow build of Magic the Gathering. Up the Beanstalk, when it enters the battlefield, when you cast something with mana value 5 or greater, you draw a card. Things that cost 5 or greater: Solitude, Force of Will, Yorion Revealed, Leyline Binding, Terminus, and options on 4th Eorlingas if X is big enough. And of course, Yorion itself. All trigger the beans. 4 copies of the One Ring, another engine to just shred through your deck. Uro, another draw engine that also recoups the life loss from the One Ring. Yorion Revealed, hit your land drops early, draw 3 or more cards later. If you have beans, this starts to become draw 4, draw 5, etc. When your Force of Wills cantrip, they get a lot better. When your Force of Wills draw 2 cards, forget about it, game's over. Terminus, sweep up the board, draw a card, draw 2 cards, hell yeah. And McWinsauce has gone into black for 2 copies of Orcish Bowmaster and 1 copy of Witherbloom Command, which is a responsible little splash because these decks tend to be core Bant, and then they tend to splash red for Pyroblast and 4th Eorlingas. But if we're supporting Leyline Binding anyway, which is one of the best removal spells there is in an Up the Beanstalk deck, because it's just 1 mana flash removal, gets anything, and draws a card. If we want to support this, we need swamps in the deck anyway. There are 4 swamps in this deck to cast our 3 black cards. That sounds like a responsible number to me. If we're playing swamps anyway, why not have some great cards to cast with them? Some interesting things about this list in particular: only 2 Solitude, could be 4, but we've chosen 2 as the number. Not a whole lot of white cards we want to pitch to it. Probably part of the reasoning for that, there are 2 Mystic Sanctuaries. Some decks play 0. McWinsauce is all the way up to 2. Sanctuary picking up a Terminus, especially with Beanstalk in play, this is just another Wrath you could set up. Anytime you have a fetch land, picking up a Yorion Revealed is another draw 3+. Anytime the board is clear to do so, just very deep on this. 2 copies, pretty exciting. And only 1 4th Eorlingas. This deck is not trying to jam Linguses until your opponent's dead. It's trying to find a spot to resolve one big one. And I respect that deck building. We see a lot of 4-color or Jeskai adjacent control decks these days play like 2, 3, and sometimes even 4 4th Eorlingases, where it's just like, I'm going to shove this on 3 mana, I'm going to shove it on 4, I'm going to shove it on 5, one of them's going to win the game. This one is more like, nah, I'll find it eventually, and it'll win the game when it shows up. It's hard to describe exactly what the plan of this deck is, because every game's going to be a little different, but we're going to try to draw a lot of cards and eventually resolve something that wins the game. Let's go try to do that. This is Dom's 4 or 5-color Yorion Beans and list by McWinsauce. Welcome to Taking the Initiative for Trans Lifeline, hosted by myself and a group of your favorite Magic content creators. Trans Heart October is an annual drive where gamers and streamers from around the world work together to support Trans Lifeline. Trans Lifeline is the nation's only crisis and peer support hotline staffed by trans people for trans people. 2023 has been a year of unprecedented anti-trans legislation, violent rhetoric, and other attacks on the basic rights of some of our most vulnerable community members. Every $2 you donate during this campaign is a raffle entry. Every $500 collected overall adds another prize to the raffle. We have secret lairs, Cool Stuff Inc. gift cards, full boxes, and almost 20 commander decks to give away. Use the link or QR code to get in the mix for great prizes while supporting an important cause. Entries are accepted October 16th through 20th, 2023. Donations must include name and address to be eligible for prizes. I'm on the draw. In round 1, I've revealed my companion and Island Ponder Keep. Let's go. Misty Rainforest from the opponent. I've got all sorts of lands in my hand. I'm not super worried about Wasteland. Here we go. These are just all the cards I'd want in my entire life. I'm going to put Uro in my hand now with Beanstalk on top, because if I do randomly get Thoughtseized, I would rather keep the Beanstalk among these cards. And Uro, I'm pretty happy if it gets shortcutted straight to the graveyard. Second Misty Rainforest. Let's see what the opponent's cooking with over here. Uh-oh. Underground Sea. Danger Zone. Oh, Sultai. Is this Bug Beans? Yeah, it is. We got a Bean Mirror. Okay, Bug Beans, a deck that I like quite a lot, actually, is what we're up against. They are a Wasteland deck, but I'm not in a good position to play around that. They're also a Daze deck. I'm going to try to start shoving, though. Tilt. Maybe that was just really bad. Maybe I was supposed to leave up Swords to Plowshares, make sure I don't die this turn, and then resolve my Beanstalk next turn. Yeah, if they have Beans and I don't, it's not a great place to be. But I do have Uro on the follow-up here. Daze that. Orcish Bowmasters, that card's annoying, but it's fine. So I draw a card, put in this Flooded Strand. They ping me again. And I think I'm just going to pass from here. Is there a Savannah in this deck? I feel like... Oh, there is. Okay, good. I can Swords to Plowshares the Bowmaster and play Uro because there's a Savannah in the deck. Not a Wasteland, that's good news. Bowmaster. Okay. That's in there. They're coming in for 5 here. I'm going to get my Savannah. It's my plan to plow these Bowmasters, or deal with these Bowmasters anyway. So might as well not take 1 damage from one of them. Okay, 1 down. My Leyline is fully binded as well here. I think I should take damage, or, okay, so I don't have double white. This game will be easier without Bowmaster in play. Do I want to take the time off to deal with the Bowmaster and draw some cards? Or just shove Uro and say, my thing's bigger than yours? I think I want to bind. And I'm going to do this first because I don't really want to be facing down a 6/6 like forever. And then I can Beanstalk and Ponder, or maybe, I think I should probably Ponder first. Yeah, Drown in the Lock, Witherbloom Command are both in the deck. Orcish Bowmasters is in the deck. Okay, I'll take that. Do not shuffle the library. Mystic Sanctuary, target. Swords to Plowshares. They are ultimately a creature deck. And then my own Bowmasters. If they have a Force of Will, I expect we're going to see it here. Okay, that got in. Okay, Fatal Push, sure. That's a clean answer to that. So their 2 Bowmasters are gone. If they have a third one, that's annoying. But I could just start drawing cards and not being dead. I will just block this 3 damage. It's my job to not be dead here. We're seeing a fetch. They can't Mystic Sanctuary because they have Bayou. Not that there's great cards in their graveyard anyway to buy back. But Mystic Sanctuary is in this deck. So is Murktide Regent, so is Sauron's Ransom. Alright, well, I just put Swords to Plowshares on top of my deck. They saw me do it, and they still shoved Murktide Regent into play. That's mildly annoying. I'm going to lead on my Beanstalk and draw some more cards. I'm playing around Spell Pierce anyway. Woof, that's a lot of that. I'm still more worried about Murktide Regent. 2 cards left in their hand. Their Orc Army is a 5/5 at this point. And I'm just going to shove Yorion into my hand, because I am tapped out and rocking out here. I want another green source, but I'd also like another white source, which is unfortunate because there's only 1 Savannah. I'm going to get Tundra because I'm holding this Solitude. Yeah, even if they waste me off Uro, Solitude is still ready to party. Brainstorm. I'm going to 6 here. And then I can start trying to stabilize. They can waste me off double green or double white, but not both. They took me off double white. And if their hand is force blue card right now, or even just daze right now, I'm actually in a ton of trouble. Okay, Uro. Green, green, blue, blue. My deck has Life from the Loam and Mystic Sanctuary in it, so I'm just trying to respect the bits and pieces here in the graveyard where I can. I'm going to gain 2 life and take 1 damage. Or gain 2 life ultimately. Okay, so they're going to Murderous Cut me. I can pitch cast Solitude here if I want to, or I can just let this ride. I think I'm going to let it ride for now. I don't have a land to put into play. This is how much damage? 6, 7. All right, so I'm at 1. I better pitch cast Solitude, and I have to take out the Orc army. Ugh. All right, Solitude. This is going to draw a card, put me to 7 on the way out. I have to kill the army because it's lethal. Leave the Bowmaster around. Okay, I can refire Uro next turn and try to grind back from a stable situation. Orcish Bowmaster still between me and everything I want to do. It was convenient of them to draw 3 of them this game. Another Wasteland, that can take me off Uro, but I have Life from the Loam. Oh no, there's a lot of mana. Yorion revealed, oh no! Well, here comes Yorion. Okay, I have a Wasteland. I don't think that's a card I really want. I can Loam first, and then Uro, but then Uro gets dazed. If I don't Loam first, Uro will eat all of the lands that Loam could target. This taps me out of green to play Uro anyway. None of this is pretty. Maybe I should take my medicine and just ponder and see if I can find an answer to Bowmaster or some other way to play this game before committing to the Uro. Witherbloom Command. Okay, that's kind of the nuts. Okay, Witherbloom Command. Do not shuffle my library. Bowmaster gets to trigger. Witherbloom. Target creature. Destroy target non-creature permanent. Target creature gets -3/-1. Okay. Destroy up the Beanstalk and Orcish Bowmaster. Black. Green. Now they're nearly halfway through their deck. I'd be surprised if they didn't force this. Okay. They got away with that. And Wasteland. I'm going to hit a tropical island here. This takes them off Mystic Sanctuary and gives me a full boat of targets for Life from the Loam. And now I'm at 5, facing down a 1/1. Let's get to work here. And Solitude's on top of my deck. Okay, dazed my Loam. I'm not even upset about that. I could have played around Daze, I suppose, by casting Loam before wasting them. Oh, they can waste me off white, actually. Completely. Maybe I do care about this. And if I dredge Loam, I lose the Solitude. I don't want to lose Solitude. I can draw Solitude, cast Brainstorm, and then Loam. And if they have their 4th Orcish Bowmaster, whatever, good job. Okay, dredge Loam, put back Force of Negation and Solitude. Then Loam target Tundra, Tundra, Savannah. I'm really not trying to beat them on mana denial. I don't even care about the Wasteland. I gotta get Uro going here. I'm at 3 life. Witherbloom Command doesn't burn me out here. Murktide Regent, that's pretty good. Okay, so the One Ring buys me a turn, and if they have Force of Will, I lose. Solitude kills Murktide and Orc Army, and if they have Force of Will, I lose. Solitude also cantrips. Yeah, I think I should be on Solitude here. And I think I just main phase it. Okay, here's Solitude. I draw a card in my main phase. Yeah, they have the Force, sure. Okay. Yeah, maybe I messed that game up on the turn where I just shoved my Beanstalk into Daze. If Force of Negation comes out, I think Force of Will largely comes out. I like my carpets. I like Pyroblast. Lavinia? Lavinia's not great. She's also not bad. Is she better than the last Force of Will as just something that can be in play? She does shut down Murderous Cut for the most part. Murktide Regent doesn't care. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna go like this. I'll keep this hand. I got lands and things to do with them. We did ultimately lose the game, obviously, but that Witherbloom command felt awesome, killing Bowmaster and Beanstalk. That card is extremely well positioned right now. Ponder from the opponent. If I can fetch basic planes on my turn, I'll try to play on basics. There's one of each basic in the deck. If I can't fetch a planes, I'm not going to get an island and let one wasteland take out multiple colors. Okay, so I didn't get there. What do I want here? Tundra and Savannah. I mean, I have stable green. There's no scrubland or plateau or anything. My white only comes from tundras and savannas in the deck. I could just get 2 tundras. That actually seems correct. And I'm gonna start on Lavinia. This shuts down Daze, Force, everything. If she stays in play. Okay, she's in there. That makes my Beanstalk more likely to stick next turn. Cycling Yorion revealed for a trap. Carpet of Flowers, disappointing. That's a really good card. I also boarded that in. Now they get 2 more mana to do stuff with. Yeah, black in the pool. Here comes a Bowmaster all day, every day. Oh, Fatal Push. That's fine. Compared to Bowmaster, I'll take it. Hey, my own. I got something like that too. We go to second main. I'm going to make green here, and I'm going to play a Beanstalk, leaving green in the pool. I didn't play Ring because after they showed me Fatal Push, that means they have an answer to Lavinia, which doesn't rule out Daze. Okay, I brainstormed to now because there's this Terminus that I'd like to set up in the long term. Mystic Sanctuary on top of the deck, I guess that's fine. Okay. I have another Beanstalk. I've got Terminus in the bank 2 turns out from now, or 2 draws out from now. Gotta remember, if Beanstalk triggers, then Terminus is closer to the top. I can't currently trigger it, but if I played this Beanstalk, my Terminus is gone. They had a Brainstorm, they found a fetch land. Second main, their Carpet can make 2. Blue in the pool. Is it Murk time? Fetched for Bayou. We both have 2 islands and a forest versus Carpet of Flowers. And there's a 7/7 Murk. Okay. I go to my turn. I think I'd rather One Ring here. Yeah, I'm going to make blue, and then play the One Ring. I could just plow the Murktide, but then this Terminus on top doesn't get any value. I could even tap the One Ring to Terminus on their turn. That does play into every piece of soft permission that exists, because Mystic Sanctuary is going to ETB tap. We're in there. Protection from everything. Do I even play the Mystic Sanctuary? I can Loam next turn and set up Sanctuary for the future. I'm actually just not going to play this land, because not only does it not do what I want, but it makes their Carpet better in the meantime. And I can Terminus at will here. Oh, they can't even target me with Carpet. That's so funny. Okay, I am going to activate the Ring now to go for the Terminus, because this might incentivize a Bowmaster that also gets swept up in the Terminus. Yeah, here we go. Let's go. Oh no, what? They have to ping their Murktide or themselves with Bowmaster here to get the thing started, which is not a big deal. Show me potato salad. It's a miracle. Okay, I'll cast this, which triggers up the Beanstalk, and I'm still protected from stuff right now. I drew a Tundra. Bowmaster deals another damage to its own army token. Where are we on Terminus here? Oh, yeah. Alright, that was friggin' nasty. Okay, it appears like the runway's clear, and now I need to find a way to win the game. That was a nice setup. Teferi Time Reveler. That's a good card. I'm gonna decline Carpet for now, because I don't know what colors I need yet. I'm gonna activate my Ring, draw some extra cards, and it looks like I want white. Or no, I want green. Okay. Going to my second main to make green. Yes, green. Start with Teferi, white, blue. Teferi first, and then Beanstalk. I could plus Teferi. I don't think this deck has great ways to answer it. I am going to plus Teferi. Bouncing Carpet does very little. It stops 1 mana from entering their mana pool next turn, because they have to recast it, and then it just triggers in the second main. They might have some Sheoldred's Edicts, but that's what they could do against a Teferi, if they even have those in the matchup. Gotta watch my clock. I am 3 minutes behind here, which could add up. Just gotta click fast, win fast, find that 4th Eorlingas. Teferi can bounce and reset 1 ring if I'm worried about my life total there at any point. Did not shuffle their Ponder. Up the Beanstalk, go for it. Oh, they do have a Sheoldred's Edict. Bummer. Alright, see you later, Teferi. I take 2 in my upkeep. Draw a Brainstorm. I'm gonna activate my ring in response to Carpet. I could have done this last turn as well. And I'm gonna make blue. I'm hoping this Brainstorm delivers additional cantrips to make this hand actually good. It mostly didn't. Put back Tundra and Mystic Sanctuary. Play Flooded Strand. I can put Yorion in my hand. I would like to shuffle. Get the Savannah in the mix. Pop Yorion in here. That's 1,000,000 cards next turn. And I'm not going to cast this Loam or anything. Oh, I can Leyline Bind. I have to discard 3 cards here. It would be It would be the 3 lands. Yeah, I'm just going to clean up dumping the 3 lands, because I can get those back. And now I can Leyline Bind. Or wait, this costs 1,000,000. Nah, I'm not going to do that. Just send Xander's Lounge to the graveyard. I might be playing faster than is responsible, and there was probably better sequencing for that last turn. Life from the Loam, target nothing from my opponent. Just trying to get something going over there. Okay, in my end step now, I can spend 3 on this. But if this unlocks a giant Bowmaster, I'm going to be pretty mad at myself. All right, I'll just wait. Not a big deal. I take 3 from the ring. There's a Solitude. Yes, and make green. Life from the Loam, target Xander's Lounge, Wasteland, Mystic Sanctuary. I'll end up discarding most of these, but it's fine. I would like to play the Xander's Lounge and unlock the rest of my game plan here. Surgicaling what? Wasteland. Okay, that is not the card I was worried about. Drop in the Lounge. And I'm going to pass and I think discard Mystic Sanctuary again. Yorion can also reset the ring. That's where I'm headed here. If I draw 4 in the end step, then I go to 7, then I draw 5, then Yorion flickers everything under the protection of Veil. Opponent's got 4 blue in the pool. They just saw that my hand is functionally 5 removal spells. Yorion revealed. I think I want to ring in response. Or I don't have black. It doesn't matter. Nope. I can bind in response. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, Leyline Binding in response to draw 2 cards. They've seen the Veil and the Plows. Bowmaster is covered here. Drew a Beanstalk. Drew a land. I want to take their Beanstalk. Yorion revealed resolves. End step, draw 4. Just looking for that Eorlingas. Found another ring and a Bowmaster. All good stuff. I take a bunch, draw, Carpet, yes, make green, and Beanstalk, play a black source, and then I think I just draw 1,000,000, then Yorion here. Going to discard. Sucks, though. All right, I'm going to draw 1,000,000. And then I'll do something to reset the ring, whether it's another ring or a Yorion. Witherbloom Command, Brainstorm. Brainstorm solid. How about an Uro, or just something that wins the game? They've been over there thinking about Bowmaster for like my last several cantrips, but they've seen the Veil, so they can't go too crazy. Okay, put back some lands and new ring. I'll take this one, please. Now I have to figure out how to discard. Oh my god. I have 16 cards in my hand. That's a stupid number of cards. Just genuinely just fucking dumb number of cards. Alright, I hope I clicked correctly. I have to like click both quickly and correctly here. I would like to Bowmaster my opponent this turn. But now that would give them a target for Bowmaster. Alright, well, you can't sell me on that. Here we go. I need a win condition in play. You're veiling me. I'm veiling you. I don't need to veil you. That's fine. Yeah, whatever. I take one, I guess. Bowmaster could ping itself. That's, like, not desirable. There's only... Oh, wow. I have protection for everything. It has to ping itself. Get wrecked, me. Yeah, that is how that works. Yeah, this is always a frustrating and difficult spot to deal with, because I don't believe I could ever lose this game to Magic cards, but I am struggling hard with the clock and things that you could shortcut easily in paper. I'm not drawing cards with the ring because I don't think I need more cards, as weird as that is. Yes, make green, black, Witherbloom command. Target player mills 3, I get a land back. I'll target myself and destroy target up the Beanstalk. That. I would like Mystic Sanctuary back in my hand. And then I haven't found 4th Eorlingas yet. Play Bayou, play Yorion. I'm just flinging cards at this point. Yorion draws a million. Pyroblast. Up the Beanstalk. Volcanic Island. Yorion. Might as well draw a card with the ring because it'll be a different card in a minute. Exile. Beans. Ring. Attack for 1. And I'm not going to cast Ponder because I'm about to have every card in my deck in my hand anyway. Solitude, Swords to Plowshares. Land. Discard. Land. Ponder. Beanstalk. Other land. I know I just got that land back, but clicking at random. I have 6 minutes left to win game 3 and finish this game. 5 black in their pool. Orcish Bowmaster. I'm going to let that resolve and then play Veil of Summer. They know about 1 Veil. I hope that they overcommit into the second. Are they going to Murderous Cut in response here? Neat. Veil of Summer again. Force of Will, Pyroblast. It's all coming together. And I'm going to plow Orcish Bowmaster before I start drawing cards with Veil. I just don't want them to have anything when the dust settles here. And they have nothing to my 5 power. And 4 more white removal spells in hand. 2 of them draw 3 cards. And the One Ring is still around. Which, for time reasons, I am not going to activate. Attack. Okay, they're doing something here. Endurance. Okay, that can resolve. Then their graveyard goes away. I'm going to Solitude here. I just tapped out of green because I'm playing fast. I hope I don't need that. There's Uro. Would have been nice to have green. Cool. Plow, Endurance, or Solitude, whatever this is. Oh, right, I have this thing. Green, Uro, trigger, Underground Seas in, Uro's in my graveyard, green, blue, black, backed by Pyroblast. I'm going to exile this Life from the Loam so it stops triggering, or it stops asking me to make a decision about it. Okay, go. Bunch of black in the pool. Witherbloom command doing stuff. They milled themselves and killed my orc army. That I for sure don't care about. Still have lethal on board. I can still remove their next several creatures. Fatal Push Uro, fine. No longer have lethal on board. Opponent's playing to the clock at this point. Nobody could win this game. 1 card in their hand. Tasigur, the Banana Daddy. Do you know Caracas is legal in this format? What's going on over there? Okay. I take 0 from the ring. I draw for my turn. I make a bunch of white. I play Solitude, who does bean stuff. They're going to activate Tasigur. I'm going to give them probably Murktide Regent. Yeah, you can have Murktide Regent. Okay. Solitude, get in there. Clear the Tasigur. Volcanic Island, attack with my creatures. My 4th Eorlingas still has not shown up. There's 16 cards left in my deck. Just for time reasons, I'm going to discard Terminus, Lorien Revealed, and just try to get this game over. They have a Murktide in their hand that I have 3 different answers to. One of them doesn't even gain them life. I'm going to let Murktide resolve, because Veil of Summer would keep it, would protect it on the stack, but it won't protect it in play. Bowmaster, I'm going to destroy Murktide Regent, and Bowmaster's fine. This is their last card in hand. They're just dead here. But I'm just dead in the match because I have 3 minutes on my clock, but they have 6. I don't know, maybe I can trick them into a game 3 where they play too slow. Okay, F6. Put white in my pool, kill the orc, and then attack with everything. F6. Okay, I have 249. They have 554 for game 3. I mean, they're going to win on time, but you can see how this deck just goes over the top of anyone. I like my configuration here. I will try to play it out. I guess there's some world where either they have engines going and I don't, or which eats up their clock, or I didn't find the 4th Eorlingas with 15 cards left in my deck that game. Maybe it'll be in the top 7 cards in my deck this time, and we can just horse out early and often. Okay, time for the speed clicking Olympics. There's the 4th Eorlingas. What a tease. Mulligan. Keep. Bottom, terminus. F6. We're racing now, kids. I have to make up 3 minutes on my clock, or actually beat my opponent in 3 minutes. I don't think this deck's actually capable of the second thing. So click fast, play fast is the answer. All right, I'm not going to cast this Ponder into this Bowmaster. If they Bowmaster me, I'll master them back. I have to cycle Yorion revealed in this end step. We got a Tropical Island. Witherbloom Command. I like that card. I am afraid to cantrip here because of Bowmaster. All right, now just stone punished for not playing my cards. Wasteland. I guess I'll play Bowmaster here. Just straight into their Bowmaster. And have a bad time all around. Yeah, I should have pondered last turn where I could have Bowmastered their Bowmaster. Yeah, here it is, whatever. I know. There's no universe where I play the game like this if I have 8 minutes on my clock. Great. Well, I'll pass the turn and hope I find a green source for this Witherbloom command before I lose. Oh, they're Witherbloom commanding me and picking up their Wasteland. All right, well, here is the strength of a deck like Soul-type Beanstalk compared to this one. Like we saw last game how we went way over the top and no deck could ever break out of what we were presenting by the time that mid-game arrived. However, we don't have draws like that. Okay, that actually rules. Don't shuffle. F6. I can Carpet of Flowers next turn and maybe do something. Jeez, the Bowmastering. Can't catch a break today. Okay, draw, trop, carpet. If they force this, we lose. Okay. You did it. That I played a little too careful around Bowmasters, partially because I was under the clock concern. Like, if I had actually stopped to think about, I can ponder if they Bowmaster, I Bowmaster their Bowmaster, and I'm ahead on turn 3, then the Wasteland just fucked everything. But, yeah, games 1 and 2 are the things to actually study from this match. Game 1, they got under me because I didn't play around days. Game 2, they were never close to playing the game. It just took 38 minutes to win it. That is why you don't see me playing these ultra ponderous Uro decks in paper, because the round clock is just a nemesis. On to the next one. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. On the play in round 2, I'm going to keep. I've got Ponder to look for my land drops. I've got 4th Eorlingas to actually win the game. And I'm going to pass here. And just in case there's some bullshit where I'm interested in Veil of Summering on turn 1. Okay. That didn't happen. They did play a Dragon's Rage Channeler, though, off of Taiga, which means I can Swords of Plowshares without fear of days. And then, all right, Ponder, we need you here. 3 lands. 1 land and another Ponder. I'll start there, and I won't be greedy. Okay, I need a green source. 5-color deck coming to bite me here. Wasteland, hate my life. Oh, they played up the Beanstalk instead. That's good news. Still hate the Wasteland. But Ponder is on top of my deck. Brainstorm. There are a number of cards that I would like to turn into different cards. And Ponder can shuffle Brainstorm in an emergency. I'm going to start with the Brainstorm. Force Pitching Daze. Aggro Beanstalk. Wish I could veil that, but not available. Ponder. Found the Tundra. Okay. I'm in a lot of trouble here. This Wasteland, super annoying. Cycling Yorion revealed. Okay, so they... Oh, dear. This is a 4-color Dragon's Rage Channeler deck? I've never seen such a thing. Bane Technology has gone too far. And they're wasting my black. And I am Brainstorm locked for a couple turns here. This Force doesn't even have a blue card to go with it. I can't put Yorion in my hand. I'm drawing a 4-drop next turn. The One Ring is on top of my deck. Opponent's Brainstorming. Another Wasteland. Fuck me. Okay, here we are. A 5-color deck with only 2 colors. A million mana control deck with no draw engine. Alright, opponent, just play a Murktide Region or some shit. Let me go home. Oh yeah, there it is. Leaving the Wastelands in the graveyard. They're also a Life from the Loam deck. Oh, there's color number 5 too. Wow. Just a 5-color max greed tempo here. And my deck has Swords of Plowshares and Terminus in it. I can't just concede yet, I guess, but I want to. Murktide's in for a chunk. Alright, I'm cool. We're good. Don't concede that game at Eternal Weekend, but in the Moto queues, you can move on with your life, especially after a 50-minute game 1. Pyroblast, Carpet of Flowers, 4-color or 5-color. I should expect Leyline Bindings out of them. Minsk and Boo probably in this deck. What's my plan for that? Like, I can bring Hydroblast, Pyroblast, Carpets in, cut all my forces. I still have Drown in the Lock and just general raw power to challenge a Minsk and Boo. Maybe Veil of Summer is mid. We did see black mana. Maybe that means Bowmaster. Maybe that just means Leyline Binding. Woof. Okay, I am submitting my deck like this. I don't think I want the Lavinias here. Though, it's whether I want Lavinia or Hydroblast. Last round, I didn't need Hydroblast against the deck, so Lavinia had room. But I think I don't want Lavinia versus the red decks, because Minsk and Boo is such a beating. Okay, I have lands. Drown in the Lock that doesn't turn on. And I am going to keep this, but it does need some help. A Brainstorm, a Ponder, a Beanstalk, something to get going here. I can Leyline Bind with Savannah plus Sanders Lounge. And then those lands do not cast Drown in the Lock, though, between them. I got to figure out how to sequence this, and I'll make that decision based on what they do. Scalding Tarn go was their plan. All right, Volcanic Island. We're starting to have a game, maybe. We did see a Daze. It was pitched by Force of Will last game from them. Beanstalk must be nice. Can't counter that. Okay, if I fetch for Savannah and Underground Sea, I'm not going to shove this into Daze. And if I'm not playing it now, I just should stop fetching. Okay, I'm going to draw. Okay, Volcanic Island, Underground Sea. Yeah, that gets me everything. And I can Drown in the Lock still. I can't Drown in the Lock of Force if they just send that. I have the wrong blast in my hand. Classic situation. Okay. Opponent very willing to be aggressive with their forces once they have a Beanstalk. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. Certainly just they forced a Brainstorm last game. They forced a Leyline Binding on a card that already drew a card this game. All right, I can kill that anytime. Ponder, go ahead. All right, I'm gonna kill this now before they can protect it somehow or cast another spell. Plateau in this deck. They've got the full dual land sampler platter. He did not shuffle. We've seen Daze in the deck. I would love to shove this One Ring, but I also would love to not lose to Daze. But if I don't shove, then Wasteland is going to be a problem. All right, I'm going to play Tundra and just swing for the fences here. Force of Will. Well, at least it wasn't Daze. That Force was going to work anytime. Force pitching Ponder. Yeah, there's the Wasteland. Oh, I don't feel bad about going for the ring when I did. At least I was able to put it on the stack. Underground Sea. I think I want Yorion in my hand more than I want Drown in the Lock up, because they had a ton of mana to do stuff with last turn. It just didn't. Uh-oh. Did I just die to Minsk and Boo? Jesus Christ. Oh, 4th Eorlingas. Well, I mean, that's bad too. Yep, I can't deal with both of these, so I'm not going to deal with any of them. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out that they would wasteland me instead of jamming 4th last turn, and then I lose because I didn't do it. A Terminus Solitude on top. A Terminus Solitude. Play my land. Play Uro. Now Terminus is on top of the deck. And I can Solitude if I need to. Hope I don't. My plan for next turn is Terminus the board. Great. Or they could just have another wasteland. Alright, Terminus the board is still my plan, but I can't follow up with Uro. And we've seen something kind of like this before, and I'm not trying to like doom and gloom here. I'm just saying when the tempo decks have access to the same draw engine that the control decks do, weird stuff happens, and my opponent is outbeating me, and they're out monarching me, and they're a wasteland deck. I have one just out of possible concern for like a Caracas or Dark Depths or something. I'm not a wasteland deck in a meaningful way. I just have it in my deck. And I'm kept off balance here. My 80 card deck, I'm less likely to see my Beanstalk than they are. Just lots of things I don't really like about the giant top end. As much fun as we had last round. I don't know my top card right now. I will just draw it and hope it's a source of green mana. Alright, well, Solitude is a card I can play. They know I have it, though. But I have to challenge the Monarch somehow. And my opponent has done multiple things every single turn of this game, and they still have 7 cards in their hand to my 4, when I've done very little this game. Okay, Tropical Island, Solitude, any removal spell deals with this. The best I can hope for is that they have red removal and they get greedy and try to do it on my turn, where Hydroblast is useful. That would be so messy. Yeah, it's white removal anyway. Cool. Green source for Uro. We did it. All right. Green source for Uro. Green, green, blue, blue. Can't leave up Drown in the Lock here. Uro resolves. Can I get a land that casts Drown in the Lock? Certainly not fast enough. Leyline Binding draws multiple cards. Ugh. Carpet of Flowers. Okay. That's good next turn. Good-ish. Opponent still has 7 cards in their hand, though, despite answering all of my things that I do. I need a Beanstalk of my own to even try to keep up here. Comet Stellar Pup. Hydroblast that shit. Surely their 6-card hand can't answer this. Cool. Alright, Comet. Roll some dice. Get us out of here. Made some squirrels. The opponent's strategy of just put all the cards in my deck is working out pretty well. Kept their Ponder. Draw for the Monarch still. Yorion revealed. If there's anything resembling a way out of this game, I hope Yorion revealed is involved in it. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, Leyline Binding. I'm gonna have to Drown in the Lock that. Black. Blue. They still draw 2 cards. It was still cast. Disgusting. Alright, make 5 blue. Cast Yorion revealed. Land. Ponder off of Tundra. 2 Brainstorms. I guess I'll keep those around, or at least one of them. Mystic Sanctuary is available to me. Comet's still in play. Rolled a 6. Let's party. 6 rolled a 6. Oh my god. They have so many activations of Comet. Alright, and they just 9'd me with Comet activation. Another 6. Oh yeah. Send it. Cool. Yeah. Well, that was kind of a showcase of if you want to build with Beanstalk, this round and the last one have showcased if you want to build with Beanstalk, you don't have to be this insano, ponderous, can't win the game control deck. You can just actually win the game and play Wasteland and Daze in your deck and still have this draw engine available. On to the next round. The Command Tower software by Eminence Gaming is perfect for hosting TCG events. It features easy-to-create event registration for 1v1 and 4-player Swiss structured tournaments. Event management has never been so simple, and it's web-based, so there's no download required. Get access for just $5 at eminence.event/subscribe. On the play in round number 3, I'm going to keep this hand. Force, blue card, Drown in the Lock. 2 of the 3 lands to get Uro started. Let's do it. And pass. Lotus Petal, okay. Good news for the triple counterspell hand. Lotus Petal number 2. Please go all in and die. Chrome Mox. Simian Spirit Guide, okay, they're doing this. If they have a Cavern of Souls now, I might just quit Magic. City of Traders, alright. We're in the clear. I don't care about that. And Archon of Emeria, I do care about that. Force pitching. I think I have to pitch Force of Negation, actually. Like, what spells am I worried about out of their deck? I just hope that Drown in the Loch lines up against the next thing they do. I could have also just hit my land drops, slow and steady, and then when I force their next play, that puts 3 in their graveyard, and then I can kill Archon, like, eventually. I have to take a bunch of beats from it in the meantime, but maybe that's safer. Okay, they're passing. They have nothing. I needed them to have nothing, and that's what they had. Okay. I would like a Savannah in the mix here. Polluted Delta doesn't fetch that, though. Tropical Island Savannah. Is that how I want to do this? I need green, green, blue, blue at the other end. Oh, I actually need black, so for this Drown in the Loch, if we're going to cast it, so I need Bayou here to round it out. Come on, deck. Alright, Lorien Revealed is my next land. Hopefully my opponent doesn't do something that could have been Drown in the Loch here. Like, I can't drown a 4-drop anyway. Oh, shit. Well, there's the card that I was most worried about in my life. This looks like a Seasoned Dungeoneer headed our way. There it is. And on turn 3, it's a lot worse than a lot better than turn 1. A lot worse for them. I can try to stabilize with Uro in the interim. Okay, so if I cycle Lorien Revealed, I can hit my land drop. If I play Up the Beanstalk, oh, that's tricky. I mean, things are better with Up the Beanstalk in play, but I'm tapping out a Drown in the Loch to do that. But if I play Beanstalk and just hit a blue land, then I'm not necessarily tapping out. Okay. Beanstalk didn't get there, but that's a good card. Cycle for an island. This island, I believe, is going to be Tundra. I have green, green. I have blue, blue. I would like white, white. Okay. Now if I draw the land, Solitude is just better anyway. Let's see if they take the conservative line of scrying, or if they're just trying to build a boat. They are scrying. Okay. They bottomed both. They get to explore. Fable the Mirror Breaker, which they can play next turn. Okay. Land is the best. Up the Beanstalk. Not really what I wanted. No white cards here. I think I just want a One Ring. Because if I had a white card, I can pitch Solitude, draw a card, escape Uro. Here we go. But I think One Ring buying me a turn and then running away with the game from there is of my interest. I'm going to draw the card now because I have a land drop to make. Ding. Okay. We're going to have to grind through this initiative more than I wanted. I was hoping to Solitude and then take the thing this turn. They made a treasure. They're attacking. They still get this trigger even though I have protection from everything. Seasoned Dungeoneer on top. Pretty good follow-up. Fable. Everything's fallen apart for our hero. But I have the One Ring. I have Solitude available. I hit a land drop, which means I don't need to get antsy here. I think Solitude is probably the play this turn. I don't have a mountain, so I can't spike Leyline Binding on top of everything else right now. They get a Spooky Skeleton. They get to loot some cards. Discarded Ancient Tomb. Okay, so they're moving into combat first. Whenever you attack... Okay, so I do have a moment to target Seasoned Dungeoneer before its ability resolves. Solitude. Draws a card. Blooded Strand. Solitude. Take out the Seasoned Dungeoneer. They get to end up in the Throne of the Dead 3 anyway, because they have the other Dungeoneer. I think having creatures in play is better than not. Especially as my Yorion deck. Okay, no blocks there. So I gotta Terminus them. Oh wait. There's a Seasoned Dungeoneer in their hand. Oh, they can play both. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I too would play 2 cards instead of 1 if I could. Okay, Dungeoneer. I think I activate the ring now before they, like, Throne of the Dead 3 into a Anointed Peacekeeper or some shit that makes it not even an option. Solitude, Archon. All right, Archon was the line. It doesn't change that I need a Terminus to win the game. That is exactly the same. Activate the One Ring. Solitude. Lands come in tapped. Okay, play my land tapped. Clean up, lose some of these lands. They're back at the top of the Undercity. They get to loot away the land they just drew. And is all gas over there. I can Force of Will a non-human. I just have to Solitude the Archon first. Okay, they started to spend mana. Okay, here comes the attack. I think I just have to Solitude the Archon. Give myself a chance to also Force of Will something this turn. That lets the Dungeoneer come through, but cost of doing business. This draws a card. Life from the Loam. Not really for this matchup. Take out the Archon. It's the biggest creature they have, and also the most annoying one. Oh, do they have touched the Spirit Realm? They're spending white right now. Okay, they're Spirit Realming their Archon, and it's still out of combat. That's fine. And I'm taking 3 from my ring. So if I block, I take 7, but I gain 6, so I'm at 10. Okay. I think that's as good as that gets. Still all in on Terminus to win the game, and even that is running out of time to be useful. Archon comes back, and time to Terminus. It is not a miracle. Well, that does buy me more time, though. Activate the One Ring. There is a Terminus. Okay. How do I want to maneuver this? If I just slam Terminus right now, their cards are gone. And they get a Fable next turn. And I'm allowed to Force of Will. Alright, yep. Terminus. Even get to draw a card. Feels good. Okay, put your stuff away. And then I play Underground Sea. And any blue land in my deck, Volcanic Island specifically, gets the 4th Eorlingas going next turn. I probably have to re-ring next turn just to be alive. Oh, they have end step effects. Cool. End step Solitude. I just drown in the lock this, I think. I fetched a 6. I'm functionally at 2. Get Volcanic Island. And then black-blue. I guess I should have let them forge first, but I'm going to clean up anyway. Alright, Force of Will puts me to functionally 1. Oh, they're still... Oh, they didn't loot away this mountain. I know they have a mountain as their only card in their hand. They bottom the scry. We are weirdly close to stability here. Fingers crossed. I go to 2. Then I draw 5 and re-ring. Okay, draw 5. There is a Chalice of the Void in play, which has not been relevant up to this point. I should be able to ring and Uro here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaving up blue, blue, green, green. Which also leaves up white for the possibility of drawing Leyline Binding. I have protection from everything for the turn. I can put a land in. All my fetchable untapped black sources are already in, so I'm not really trying to Orcish Bowmaster right now. Okay. Something resembling stability has been achieved here. They get to go into the stash. If they play a initiative creature that I can't counter right now, and then also copy it, they end up right into the Throne of the Dead 3, where I'm back to being concerned about stuff. But if they don't do that, I'm sending it. Okay, looks like I'm sending it. I'm not drawing cards from the ring. My life total is tenuous. Alright. Lingus. 9 Linguses. Okay. Attack with most things, but probably not all of them. Okay. No, they're good. Alright. I was about to do the math. I actually didn't count. 18 plus 6, yeah. That was not lethal. Cool. That felt good. Hydroblast seems reasonable here. Lavinia counters Pitched Solitudes, and she stops any artifact mana from entering the battlefield in the first place, but I'm on the draw, and she's a 2-drop. Births of Negation definitely sucks for the matchup. Veil of Summer... The only thing Veil really does is if Chalice is not on 1, I can Veil and then cast whatever color spell, or whatever number spell the thing is on, but that honestly doesn't even sound good or relevant. What number would they put Chalice on other than 1 for the matchup? Teferi's medium, but I think he's good enough. Witherbloom Command kills Chalice. Force important. Hydroblast versus Lavinia is actually kind of interesting, but I think I want the Hydroblast if I only have 4 cards to cut. Let's go! If I win one match this league, I hope it's against the initiative. This hand is slow. What does that mean for me, though? It has Witherbloom command if they try to get Prison-y. If they just shove a turn 1 idiot, though, I'm just so freaking dead. Do I mulligan for Force of Will, which may or may not be effective against Cavern of Souls in my 80-card control deck? I don't think so. This hand answers a lock piece or a piece of mana and feels Uro. I guess I'll keep it. The old cross your fingers, hope they don't nut draw you. This hand also has access to basic blue or white and basic green if they try to pivot onto a moon strat. Most of these decks do have Magus of the Moon in the sideboard. It lines up well with the caverns they're playing anyway, and it can just randomly cheese decks like this one. Opponent's on 5, chasing that dragon. Lotus Petal. Ancient Tomb. Fable and Mirror Breaker. Okay, that's not a Magus of the Moon. It's pretty good, though. Solitude. Oh, I like that. I'm going to play my... Oh, do I... This is interesting. If I fetch... There's no basic I could fetch that casts Witherbloom command. I could ignore the possibility of Moon. I kind of want to Solitude this Goblin right now and try to stunt their mana. I think I play Flooded Strand, I don't Ponder, and I pass. I'm going to let them do their whole looting thing first. I want them to think they have more mana than they actually do. They kept all their cards. All right. Solitude, pitching Terminus. This Solitude might have been the answer to the Magus of the Moon that I'm worried about, but them going in this hard, if I could Wasteland them, I would have there. Oh, good. They had a turn 2 uncounterable initiative shitter anyway. That's fine. And it sucks, but we'll try to figure it out. That was a really good 5-card hand, I dare say. And they used every card in their hand without looting. So that was just... Those are just the cards they had. Okay. Swords to Plowshare is pretty good here. I'm going to Underground Sea Ponder. Another Uro, Lorien Revealed land. I don't need those. Shuffle it up. Lorien Revealed. Okay. Ended up with that one anyway. Still going into Lost Well. And their Fable flips this turn, so I'm in a ton of trouble if I don't answer at least one of these creatures, because if they start doubling and smushing with multiple Dungeoneers, the game is over. They topped their Scry, by the way. 4th Eorlingas on top. Alright, so 4th Eorlingas means I'm not cycling Lorien Revealed, because I need a blue card for Force. Okay. Okay, so Terminus on top of my deck right now. The one of Terminus still in the deck needs to be on top. And then I force the 4th Eorlingas, and then I still have to beat the initiative somehow. Alright, we're good. Do I leave Force of Negations in just out of desperation for, like... If I'm prepared to Force of Negation a Chrome Mox, is that a world that I'm even remotely comfortable living in? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm just running it back. I don't think this deck is really constructed to stop the initiative from entering play. Like, there's no dress downs, subtlety, nothing of the sort. There's no blue card to go with my Force here, but I do have Leyline Binding and Plow ready. I like those enough. Right, Savannah, go. I'm playing the Savannah first because that lets me Plow this turn and Leyline Binding next turn, where if I lead on Delta, then I can't do both. Fable, that's in. Plow. Come on, blue card. Solitude. Not quite. I'm going to let them do the loot and see where that ends up before just firing off Leyline Binding on nothing here. Yeah, they had the Cavern. That's why I wasn't too fussed about this Force. They're just built to do this. Oh, Cavern's on Archon. That's cool. I'm going to fetch a land that comes into play tapped anyway. Xander's Lounge. Leyline Binding. I should have waited till the end step, just in case they have fast mana. They would have been locked under their own Archon. It's fine. We're here. Yorion in hand turns on the Force and the Solitude, and they currently only have Cavern on Archon, which is not even the correct type to protect an initiative creature. Reflection of Kiki Jiki hanging out over there. Oh, Lavinia. I like you in this spot. Bang. No Solitude. No tricks where they pitch a Solitude, copy it, and then bash me. And then I'm casting my Solitude next turn. No blocks. This locks out their fast mana also. Okay. Big Lavinia showing up strong. I'm going to Solitude the Reflection this turn, rather than try to develop Uro. A fetch. I'm missing my second green. I'll get Tropical Island here. Solitude. Exile your thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, their hand was kind of medium. I did answer the Dingus, the Goblin Shaman. Maybe they needed that mana, and then they just didn't have it. Having multiple removal spells, Initiative never joined the game. The Cavern on Archon was kind of an all-in play. This doesn't even cast most of the cards in your deck, but it's probably what they needed at the time. I'll take it, though. We're on the board. Let's go. Welcome to Taking the Initiative for Trans Lifeline, hosted by myself and a group of your favorite Magic content creators. Trans Heart October is an annual drive where gamers and streamers from around the world work together to support Trans Lifeline. Trans Lifeline is the nation's only crisis and peer support hotline staffed by trans people for trans people. 2023 has been a year of unprecedented anti-trans legislation, violent rhetoric, and other attacks on the basic rights of some of our most vulnerable community members. Every $2 you donate during this campaign is a raffle entry. Every $500 collected overall adds another prize to the raffle. We have secret lairs, cool stuff Inc. gift cards, full boxes, and almost 20 commander decks to give away. Use the link or QR code to get in the mix for great prizes while supporting an important cause. Entries are accepted October 16th through 20th, 2023. Donations must include name and address to be eligible for prizes. On the play for round 4, I'm going to keep this hand. It's super awkward, but it does have its land drops, and I'm unlikely to die on turn 1 to a combo deck. Shit. They cycle Yorion revealed. I suppose I want another Tropical Island here. And Wasteland. What a beating. Played around it. Always had it. Scalding Tarn. Mishra's Bubble. Okay, we're on against a real-ass tempo deck here. Bobbled themselves, looking for card selection. Didn't like it. Basic Plains, continue to play around it. Knowing that they are some tempo Delver strategy here, my hand, the Force Negations are awful. The Terminuses might be great if we get to a point where I can unlock them. Oh, sick. This is not getting better for the matchup. Send it. A Rug Beanstalk is the matchup. They forced me back, pitching Daze. That's how important this card is, by the way. This is the central piece of everything that's going on right now in the format. Wow, look at me with my basic lands. Can't touch this. Yorion in hand. That Wasteland looks pretty foolish now, doesn't it? Loam picking up a Wasteland. Alright, that Wasteland looks pretty smart now, doesn't it? I think we're just going to get Wastelocked here, even with all the basics around. I think I just don't even play this drop into the Wasteland. I have no recourse for that, but I do have cool 4-drops in my deck. A Brainstorm. I would like one of those, please. They dredged Loam, losing a Beanstalk. I wonder if they're just going to shove Murktide here. Like, dredging a Loam after you just picked up 3 lands. I think that was more about fueling the graveyard than it was about having lands in your hand. Oh yeah, they're going to hoot here. The old hooting Mandrills draw 2. Opponent has fewer cards in their deck. They're more likely to have their Beanstalks than I am. And look at this. Once again, a tempo Beanstalk deck just up under my control Beanstalk deck with the same engine. Just doing better than me at what's supposed to be my own game. This plow doesn't even feel good, but I'm still sending it. It's got to take the pressure off somewhere. They discarded Loam to hand size. They have multiple Wastelands going. I just can't even play this game. I need to find an Uro and get out ahead of Wasteland and then also escape the Uro before the Wasteland, and all that needs to happen without any sort of disruption from their 8-card hand. They didn't shuffle Ponder. There's a Wasteland invested now. I'm just not interested in playing this game anymore. We can't really get ahead at all. They have Loam and Beanstalk going. I think reasonably the only way we win that game is if we just draw all of our white spells and deck them to their own Beanstalks and Loam activations, which, oh, no thanks. Okay, we've seen this plan before. I think all my forces come out, and I could get a Hydroblast or a Lavinia here. I think I'm interested in Hydroblast, and this is my plan. Okay, I have a Beanstalk. I could fetch basics to start, if that's even correct. And I am going to try to maneuver this Beanstalk around days, unlike in round 1. I've learned my lesson. Just having this around changes the whole game. Opponent's on 7. Volcanic Island, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay. Another Flooded Strand. Okay. A Taiga. And they didn't Beanstalk me. Good news, everybody. All right, I'm going to go Basic Forest, Basic Plains, Beanstalk. I can Pyroblast a hard counter, or I could pay for days. If they have hard counter and days, they counter my Beanstalk as a 3-for-2. They pitched a Brainstorm to do that. Volcanic Island, Pyroblast. Veil of Summer, okay. Well, I haven't cast any blue spells, so this Veil is just 1-for-1. Okay, I got the 3-for-2 I was talking about there. They did keep their cards on top with Dragon's Rage Channeler, though, or their second one, anyway. Their own Beanstalk, yep. I've lost the first most important battle in this matchup. And now if my deck can deliver me an Uro or something that really gets the gears turning, I'll feel okay. They just have a Dragon's Rage Channeler. It's not Delirious. They're down to 2 cards in hand. Oh, the fetch makes it Delirious, sure. It is Delirious. Just like a Swords to Plowshares or an Uro. A One Ring. Just one of these payoff cards. Savannah wasn't it. Believe it or not, that's not the card I was looking for, somehow. I'm going to put Yorion in hand. I could have also cycled Xander's Lounge for my 3 mana, but I think just getting the Yorion locked up is nice. Okay, Lightning Bolt. They're sprinting for the end game here. I'm at 7 already. Come on, white cards. Jeez. Okay, I'm going to cycle Xander's Lounge. Come on, Swords to Plowshares. Hey, we did it. All right, I'm going to plow now. Cool. That's gone. This is where they follow up with Minsk and Boo or some unbeatable horseshit. Nope. Okay. No plays. Pass. I have to give at least a little bit of respect to the possibility of Price of Progress. Like, I mean, this deck, no way it has any basics in it, but it also is good at dealing damage. I'm trying to determine right now if I just shove Yorion into Pyroblast or try to save this for a future situation. I'm just going to run it. They've told me already their hand is reactive. Yeah, okay, sure. Let's get those cards out of there. There's my basic island. That turns on Mystic Sanctuary in my deck. There's one more still in there. I can get a plow if I need it. I would love to draw One Ring or, one of the things that my deck actually does. Looks like they drew a Hooties based on the way they're tapping and this pause. Yep, Hooting Mandrills. Draws a card. Bobble, targeting me. I don't plan for that card to be there. At 7 life, I can't mess around with the Hooties anyway. Get back Plow. I'm just going to Plow now, actually. Because I have this other Sanctuary in hand. I don't know that I want to be fetching ever again. Alright. I will run this fetch out and then hold these last 2 lands for future Brainstorms. But look at the spot we're in. We've done the thing where the tempo deck plays threats and the control deck plays Swords to Plowshares and tit for tat, 1-for-1, and now that the dust settles, they have 4 cards in hand to my 2 because they have Beanstalk and I don't. They 3-for-2'd themselves to answer my first Beanstalk, but their own just caught up right away and surpassed. Murktide, unfortunately, the Mystic Sanctuary is in my hand, so I need a big draw here. A removal spell, a cantrip, a One Ring, even Uro's fine. Solitude, we can run that one. Alright, I'll just play this now before they get Hardcast Force. If they force, I'm dead anyway. Cool. Alright, GG. So far, this league, we've literally lost to everyone who has up the Beanstalk in play, and we've beat everyone who doesn't. And having your 80 card build of the deck, just fewer density of Beanstalks, does not seem like the way to build. On to the final round.
You come here to level up at Magic. To level up as a software engineer, check out the new YouTube series Dev Better, hosted by the founder of 7 Factor Software and Magic player, Jeremy Duvall. 7 Factor's small teams of high-performing engineers build custom mobile apps, APIs, and highly scalable systems for Fortune 500 companies and ambitious startups with great ideas. If you'd like to hire 7 Factor, or maybe join their team, contact them through their website at 7factor.io. And don't forget to subscribe to 7 Factor's YouTube for every episode of Dev Better.
I'm on the play for the final round. I have literally all of my basics and access to this Ponder and Brainstorm. I'm gonna go with it. Forest go. The classic legacy start. Snow-covered island. If they stifle me, I'm quitting. All right, basic island. I guess that didn't have to be basic, but it was. Deal with it. Ponder. Oh, okay. This is a fun little spread of things. I'll put this Veil of Summer in my hand right now, in case that becomes important to me. End step Brainstorm. That's a very combo-y thing to do. I hope this Veil wins me the game. Crystal Vein, okay. Are we getting show and told? Yeah, we are. Okay, Force pitching Brainstorm. Force pitching Intuition. Veil of Summer, please don't daze me. Nice. Okay. We got the BTFO, we got the redraw. I'm drawing Tropical Island here. I'm going to put Yorion in my hand and hope they can't reload immediately. The One Ring, if you put in enough show and tell, does not give you protection from everything, as I learned hilariously in a previous video. I mapped out this whole multi-turn line in a game I could never lose based on thinking that I would have protection from everything if they cast show and tell. Ponder, okay. They chose to shuffle. Okay. Tropical Island, get in there. The One Ring, get in there. One Ring is, in fact, in there. Oh yeah, they don't want to play against this card. Okay, show and tell. Looks like Omni Show probably because we saw Intuition and a bunch of basics. Lavinia helps me protect my stuff. Carpet, Ram's Mana, Pyroblast protects. Might not actually need Carpet for this matchup, but I'm probably going to do it anyway. I'm going to shave all of my Swords to Plowshares and my Witherbloom command. Plow could be good if they have Vesuvian Drifter, but I'm going to make them show me that card first, and I still have Leyline Binding, Solitudes that can deal with it. Drown in the Lock kills it. Pyroblast kills it. Then we get the classic, do you want any number of Surgical versus Show and Tell? If you can counter the first Show and Tell, then take them out of the deck. Their deck gets a lot worse, but it doesn't help you survive the first one. Is there any card in my deck left that's just embarrassing at show and tell and I don't want at all? And I think the answer to that's no. Yeah, I am not going on Team Show and Tell or Team Surgical this time. Force of Will and then another soft counter. Well, calling Drown in the Lock a soft counter is kind of weird because it's a hard counter that just doesn't work some percentage of the time. Is that what a soft counter means? Like you can't play around it once the conditions are met? I don't know. A conditional counter. I'll call it that. Conditional. That's the right word. Okay. Basic Island. I can put in Leyline Binding off of Show and Tell and clip an Omniscience as long as they don't win over the top and instant speed. Therefore, I'm not super worried about getting a bunch of land types. Pyroblast is great. Uro is great. Because right now, Uro is my blue card to pitch to Force, and just having another one means I can keep playing the game. If they shove here, I'll force pitching Uro, and then if their thing resolves... Okay, well, force pitching Uro. I will fight over this card because I have multiple other counters in my hand. Looted Delta, go. Looted Delta gets Volcanic Island, which can present a counter spell. Ooh. I think I want to Drown in the Lock this. No, that's crazy. Never mind. My thought was... if I drown this, then I can Uro, hold up Pyroblast next turn, but I would have to shuffle, then the Savannah's gone, then I don't know that I'm holding up Pyroblast, and this card being in the graveyard is another step towards Drown being a hard counter for Show and Tell. And it already counters the next defense grid. If I do end up drowning this turn, this Delta has to get Bayou for everything to line up right. Crystal Vein, is it time? Cycling Lorien revealed. Alright, it's not time yet. And playing Ponder, revealing Snow Island in their hand. Okay. Drown in the Lock counters Show and Tell now. My top card is Savannah. I think I'm just going to take that, because eventually I want this Uro to be part of the game. but I can't play it yet because I have to fetch Bayou and fetch Bulk to cast all of my interaction this turn. So they got to be 2 counter spells, and then they have to, their show and tell has to be Leyline binding on the back end. Okay, they just didn't do anything. I'll play another Polluted Delta and pass. Getting Uro going is tempting, but having up 3 layers of protection is more tempting for me. Mystical Teachings, congratulations. Okay, yeah, let's see it. I'm not going to Pyroblast this. I don't think I've literally ever seen this card in Legacy, and I'm excited. They got Scattered Thoughts. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of those cards into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Okay. They're on that slow grind. Turns out, Drown in the Lock, really good card for this matchup, though. A Savannah, and now I will have 3 lands up to Uro and keep doing stuff. So, fetch. And just make sure I don't tap out of anything essential here. If I get Tundra, that does what I need while leaving up blue, black, red. Uro, trigger. Now Solitude is in the mix of things I can put into playoff show and tell. If I have reason to believe they're going for a creature, Solitude's better than Binding. This deck just got super weird, though. Like, we got new problems to solve. Wow, they busted the Crystal Vein to cast Scattered Thoughts in the end step. Do they think I'm a Daze deck, or are they protecting it with Flusterstorm? Whatever, go for it. I'm going to let you have it. Though going with Crystal Vein there is weird. I suspect they might have Flusterstorm in their hand. Or Spell Pierce, you know, like some variant thereof. Ancient Tomb, 6 cards in your hand. Show and tell. All right. Time to figure out how to fetch for this. I think I just start with the Pyroblast, though. Counter target spell if it's blue. They do have a Flusterstorm. Pay attention when your opponent's telling you stuff. And I'm going to fetch Bayou and Trop here. And then Drown in the Lock, target show and tell. Black, blue. There are Omniscience piles that beat a placed in Oblivion Ring effect. I'm just hoping that I've reduced their hand enough that they can't do that. But like, if they put in Omniscience and then Intuition over the top of it for 3 Cunning Wishes, then they win. But if they don't do that, I got the goods. Show and tell resolves. Leyline Binding. Target your Omniscience. Can you win over the top? Yep. Seems like it. Okay. Yeah. At least we get to see what their business is here. Is it Cunning Wish? Is it something else? What is their wish package? Like, they have to have an old school, fully instant Omniscience package to actually win over the top here, because a lot of the Omni Show decks Cunning Wish for shared summons and then get Emrakul and Grizzlebrand, which doesn't work here. They would need like the full Firemind's Foresight nonsense. Oh, wow. You can have the shared summons. Put those 2 teachings in the graveyard. Do they have creatures with flash? Do they have like Teferi, old school Teferi? I'm just thinking of cards that have been played alongside Mystical Teachings in the past. I'm certainly not giving them a hard tutor here, though. Oh, wow, they didn't even play the summons. Okay. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, where not every deck, even if they have it, can keep doing the thing. I think Uro's better than the Ring here, because I want to actually make them dead, and both of these things draw cards. Green, green. No, I want to tap the Bayou. Green, green, blue, blue. Leave up red for Pyroblast or white for interaction. Here's Uro. Right, I am going to ponder here, leaving up the red. Carpet of Flowers, Lavinia up the Beanstalk. Yeah, these aren't super helpful right now, but they are good moving forward. I'll put the Lavinia in my hand because she can let me cast Solitude. They have an uncastable shared summons in their hand, and 1 card that they just drew. If they show and tell Omniscience shared summons right now, good job, whatever. Okay, they're just done. Nice. Okay, so we literally beat everyone who didn't have Up the Beanstalk in their deck, and we lost everyone who did. I'm not saying Up the Beanstalk is toxic or what the format is devolving into. There's plenty of decks that don't play it that are fine, but I do tend to think, obviously, 5 matches, not a huge sample size, but I do tend to think that unless you just really get off on playing 25 turn games and winning with the last card in your deck and whatever, then I would just recommend any of the tempo builds of Up the Beanstalk better. They just do the same thing as far as card drawing goes, and they can also cheese a game with stuff like Wasteland, Daze, fast threats like Murktide and Bowmaster. The reason to play a Yorion deck is that you're eventually favored in any kind of fair matchup. In any mid-range war, you're the one who has this big bird pending. It's going to be good for a bunch of cards. Watch out for this thing because you know it's coming. You better get me dead before it's too late. But that's not even true when your tempo delve opponent has Up the Beanstalk churning and is just outdrawing you on every turn up to the point where you might put Yorion in your hand. I have concerns about that. And there's a lot of flexots here. We don't have to be 5-color necessarily. We could not be main decking Veil, just have 4 Bowmaster. You could play more Wastelands. I mean, you could get lower. You could be kind of tempo Beanstalk Yorion if you want to sort of hybridize the things we've seen. The one deck we played against that has Comet Stellar Pup in it, they were just the full 5-color extravaganza, but also had Dragon's Rage Channeler and Daze in their deck. I would be exploring lower to the ground shells here rather than trying to do this in a format where the lower to the ground decks just get to draw the same number of cards as you or more. Those are my thoughts. Those are my concerns. Dom, thank you for sharing this deck. I was excited to play it. After playing the League, I'm less excited about this idea in general for the reasons I just described. Eternal Weekend's coming. Make sure if you're going to play a deck like this, you've tuned and tested and you know exactly how to beat Up the Beanstalk tempo decks. Those are going to be popular and they seem like they're tough. No prismatic endings in this deck. You could play more Witherbloom commands. Like, there's stuff you could do to fight Up the Beanstalk without giving up on the shell entirely. Just putting all that out there. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and I'll see you next time.